Mama marketing,
Mama marketing,
mama marketing.
Mama marketing.
Here we go, it's presentation time, and so let me tell you who will be yapping at you. This is Tyler Williams. He's a marketer, brother of Jared Williams, but way handsomer and has a better beard. He can take it from here.
All right. So, let me grab the mic. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Now, as you can tell, I like theatrics, right? So the other thing, I'm a marketer. If anything, a marketer needs to be a performer of some sort, right? And I'm not perfect, but I do like to have fun. And I think that the greatest sin in all marketing is boredom. And as much as I even try and fight it with us as an agency, it's really hard to get out of the boredom range. But if you guys look at the way that I market my company, it's kind of weird. And you guys all have a book that kind of goes into that, and we'll cover a little bit more about that. But boredom is the thing that your marketing needs to fight against. Does anybody know why? Anybody want to take a gander at this? Dalton, you go for it.
Boredom does not get attention.
Bam! Attention is going to be your biggest thing. Like, that's what you want. So, for those of you who don't know me, which would be weird because I do a lot of Q&As inside of the group, but I'm Tyler Williams, brother of Jared Williams. Years ago, when Jared went out on his own, he was like, dude, can you help me do the marketing? I was like, yes. Can I have creative control? And I lost it slowly over time because he got better at it. But in the beginning, it was me. And so realistically, I'd like to say that it's my efforts, which is why you all are here. No, really, the grand scheme of things is through the process of marketing prospect or plumbing, I learned how much the business determines the success of the marketing. Like, if you are not operationally sound, pricing sound, you don't have a leg to stand on. And the marketing has a tendency to die. And so if you guys are struggling in your marketing, you need to make sure you're not struggling in your business instead. And sometimes it's really hard to differentiate those two. So, and that's, of course, me being like, the defense of agencies. So you guys are going to get me a little bit raw and unfiltered, which doesn't mean I'm going to drop a whole bunch of 4-letter words. I might drop a couple. More like I might say like gee golly and fiddlesticks, because that's sort of my speed. But I'm going to talk about AI, because I get a lot of questions about AI, and it's brand new, and it's evolving, and it's changing, and it's doing a lot of things. And of course, us as an agency, we're going like, oh snap, we got new tools. So do me a favor, guys. Oh, hold on. I forgot I had this slide in here. Core of marketing. And I think that the marketing industry had forgotten about this, especially with home services. Controlling psychology using technology. So many marketers became technicians and could punch fancy buttons, but they lost the plot when it came to influence and psychology into the market. And that's what I try and reintroduce. And so we'll have a Q&A session later, and I'm hoping that we tap more into sort of like around psychology and how you guys can work this stuff out into your campaigns and stuff. But I want you guys to continue looking at marketing, not just as, oh, I need to be in a place. No, you have to control the psychology of the market, or you're leaving it on the table. You can be in all the right places, you can be running all the right ads, but if you're saying the wrong thing or you're not doing it strong enough, you're gonna not get the attention. Just running ads or just like saying, I do marketing isn't enough. You have to do marketing well. So who's using AI? Just a show of hands. Okay. Wow, I actually thought it'd be more. It's weird, we got like a cluster over here. Did you guys go like, yeah, you're using AI too? We're gonna sit all at the same table. So that's interesting to me. So I went ahead and I asked some clients, hey, how are you using AI? I just wanted some video like saying, hey, we use AI using this. And just, so I want you guys to get an idea of some of the places you can use it. Not all of this is marketing. Some of this is operations. Some of it's like back-end stuff. And so here's a bit of an example.
All right, so my real quick question that I'm asking everybody is, how are you using AI right now in your own plumbing business?
Well, we use it for financial stuff, like uploading our P&L, doing the financial analysis and stuff like that. But it's been hard to figure out where we're going to use it after that, just because it goes off the rails. So we're just trying to be careful and stair-step our way into it.
We're using AI for just about everything, because we can use it to help write sales scripts for the technicians. We're using it for the CSRs, so they have better phone scripts, and all sorts of stuff. We're really just, like, the list goes on. We keep finding new places to put it to.
Well, we haven't wanted to use AI for anything because it's just, we can't find a place where it fits that we can trust it enough. So, I mean, eventually we'll get there, but we're just not.
We use it primarily for an after-hours call answering service. It's not perfect, but it's doing the trick. We're not leaving customers without our answering machine anymore, which is always, I mean, that's kind of wonderful.
Who? Hey. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Sorry, Costin, I forgot. When the videos play, I can't talk. Is anybody here using AI as an answering service or like an after-hours pickup? Is anybody running ads and they don't have the ability for anybody to answer the phone after hours? If you are running ads that run an ad at 8 p.m. at night and your phone can't get answered, you got a big problem. Just to let you know. That's something I hear about in consults all the time. So, yeah, Plumbline. We recommend them. So, the genie of AI, whoa, the genie of AI is loose. We're not putting it back in the bottle. So it becomes, how do we leverage it moving forward? How do we become masters of AI? Because honestly, I view the spread of AI a lot like Photoshop and QuickBooks, Excel spreadsheets, and things like this. It's a tool with a lot of implications that can be used a lot of different ways, and we have to figure out the best ways to move forward with it. And of course, we're in a dust storm right now, but that's fine. The dust will settle and we'll have better things. So I'm going to give you some predictions, and I'm not going to go super deep into like follow-ups and like CRM data and how you can leverage that into ad campaigns and things like that. I'm going to stay pretty high level, and then if you guys want to get a little bit deeper, we can if it comes up during the Q&A. But I'm going to cover 3 major points with AI. I'm going to cover behavior, strategy, and creative, because I think that these are the areas that we need to talk about a little bit when it comes to the effect that it's having. Does that sound good to you guys? Yeah. All right, give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure you guys move around a little bit. All right, now, yeah, 2 thumbs up. Oh, I'm so special. All right, so behavior. That is the thing that determines pretty much all of your marketing, is the behavior of the consumer. And nothing should change until this changes. If any of you have started to make moves into AI and put something else in your marketing at risk in order to make that move, you might be making a mistake. Because if you pivot too early and there's no opportunity in AI yet, where you're like, let's say you have a $10,000 budget, you scoop up $5,000, you're like, I'm going to buy this AI ranking package. Well, that $5,000 is suddenly not in market in a place where you knew there was opportunity. So I don't want you guys to make that mistake. There are a bunch of people coming into market right now saying, hey, we've got all these AI things, all these AI tools, but you need to be very, very certain that it actually helps you capitalize on opportunity, because otherwise you're robbing Peter to pay Paul sort of situation. And you're losing your opportunities as you go, and I really don't want to see that happen. So if you pivot too early, you're potentially screwing yourself. But if you pivot too late, I believe you can catch up pretty quickly. Like if you find out that there's enough opportunity over there now, I'm a little bit late to the game, you can catch up because you're all sitting here in a coaching group, which means you're already getting educated and you're going to be able to move faster and farther than the people who don't get coached, which is most plumbers. So just take a little bit of solace in that when it comes to these things. And so here's another thing that keeps running around the internet, is that Google is dying. Raise your hand if you've heard this lately. I have a buddy that's been saying this. Google is not dying. The search volume in Google is actually going up currently. What's happening is the way that you use Google as a service provider. is dying. That is not, well, changing, okay? Google is not going anywhere, but Google is changing itself in order to like position itself well in this new world. And so the things that you have heard about Google being able to bring you, the promises that you've been fed about Google are different. If you are working and maneuvering your business off of information on Google from 5 years ago, that world doesn't exist anymore. And so how many here are struggling on getting as many leads as they thought they would out of Google? How many of you feel like they're very expensive? Yeah, there's a good amount of you, right? And honestly, take heart. That's the way it is. So as much as I would like to say, hey man, we can bring you leads for like, I don't know, $5 again. That doesn't happen. Google, they know they got you basically by balls, and they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna charge you for it. That's our system. There is no world where a platform has visibility and doesn't charge you for it, okay? So if you're looking at Google to try and get you free stuff, it's not gonna happen. And there's tactics and things to sort of get around that in some ways. But, so the AI engines aren't giving the homeowners what they want yet, and I do think that this is gonna change, okay? So I wanna show you what happens, is you have behavior, symptom searches, and services searches. How do I unclog my toilet versus I want a plumber right now? Very different frame of mind for the consumer. But when you go and you say, what do I do when I have a leaky pipe under my sink? This is what you get out of ChatGPT. Do you guys see any links? Do you see any place to call? Nope. There's no reviews, there's no messages, and there's no call buttons. Right? These are things Google has down. Oh, look at that. What do I do if I have a leaky pipe under my sink? Why would the consumer go to ChatGPT when Google serves them so much better right now? Now, ChatGPT, you better believe, on all AI platforms, you better believe that they look at this and they go, you know what, we can get there. But they aren't there yet. And so I see a lot of people going like, man, how do we make sure we get customers out of these AI engines? And I'm like, well, right now, it's really murky and it's always changing, and we don't really know what the ranking sort of scenarios are because it's so early, it's so nascent. And I've seen like 2 come through. Who cares right now? And so we are seeing some leads come from these sources, but it is not the volume that changes behavior. So I don't want to see you guys pivot too early. So here's another one. Who's the best plumber in Missoula, Montana? Okay, now we're getting links and we're getting stuff. But who goes and searches that into ChatGPT when there's no reviews, no messages, and no call buttons? Because you can get that instead. What would you do if you were a homeowner? So in Google, so the other thing is this, from a marketer standpoint, you know what we call this? Absolutely terrible conversion optimization. I have no way to just click a button and initiate contact. Google goes, I got you, right? So I don't think Google's dying, but I do think that Google is no longer wanting people to use PPC, which is why LSA was invented. You got to remember, PPC, anybody with a budget, like private equity, can go in and they can buy up all the inventory. And what that does is it means Google loses control of the search engine. And what do they need to make sure happens? Retention. So if I have a bucket load of money, but I'm a terrible company, well, I can control the PPC side. And then Google is like, crap, we have a bad plumber taking all the air out of our search engine, and we're losing users, which we need to sell inventory for shareholders. So they said, cool, LSA. We're going to turn ourselves into Angie's. So now, LSA is prioritized, even though the leads are a lot cheaper, right? So you go like, why is Google doing that? It's because Google controls that inventory in a way that they don't control PPC anymore. So with this, how many of you know that budget isn't the only factor in LSA ranking? Raise your hand. I want to see how many people knew this ahead of time. Awesome. I can't tell you how many times I hop on a call with a new plumber and they're like, I'm just gonna run LSA and control and just throw a bunch of money at it. It doesn't work that way. Google's listening to how fast you answer the phone. They're seeing how your review flow is. They're seeing if you're giving them data back. They're a data broker, right? And they have to protect their search engine. That's what LSA is. This is my opinion, but I can't find a reason why they wouldn't, right? They have to protect their search engine, so they're giving the best plumber performance more ranking factors than budget. So if you guys have been like, man, it's just never spending my full budget. Well, maybe that's not your bottleneck. Maybe your bottleneck is your reviews. Maybe it's how fast you're picking up the phone. Maybe it's how many calls you missed, right? So keep those things in mind. Kind of giving you some tips on the way through this. All right, so here's the big thing. When it comes to the behavior, less than 1% of your market should not take more than 1% of your energy. I see a lot of ooh shiny happening around AI. I mean, I do it. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward with this world of AI. But it's very, very easy to go, oh, I'm gonna try this now. And let's face it, that's business in general. We're all like weird popcorn brain people. Like, we got a billion ideas a minute. Of course. So I want to give you guys that word of caution. The behavior will change, but it hasn't changed yet. Keep an eye on it. That's what I want you to do. All right, strategy. How many of you have put together a full-bore marketing strategy for your company? I mean, even as, hey guys, you're like in the corner, just raise your hand. Now, as much as I would like to say like full-bore marketing strategies is something we put together for everyone, it's something that is even nascent for us and it's changing. And so, but strategy is, I think, going to change. And I'm excited about it because it allows us to go deeper into each of your businesses and your markets. So I think that AI agents, does everybody know what an AI agent is? Like, yeah, so AI agent is where I can say, hey, open up a browser, crawl this, do these things for me, and give me a report back, or take certain actions on a website for me, right? So basically you can automate your web browsing and your research to a point. Can go off the rails, but like I think that'll replace a lot of the busy work that like we have to do when we're scoping out a region. When I want to know what 10 plumbers are actually worth paying attention to here, right? So that's going to get really interesting because then it'll give us a report and then we can start making better decisions as a marketing agency, and you guys can do this too. Like everything a marketing agency does, you guys can do. We're just more specialized and we do more often. So research will become faster, but that buys you time to go deeper. A lot of people are looking at AI as like, all right, cool, the baseline is now covered. What happens when the baseline is covered and everybody does the same thing? Anybody want to take this one? Redbeard.
Things get boring.
True, things get boring, but things get boring because you're all the same, again, right? So if everyone does the same market research and comes up with the same results, you're not actually strategizing. What you're doing is you're just taking an output from an engine, and then you're calling that marketing strategy, right? So what I'm starting to dig into for us is if we can make our research happen faster, we're still paid to do research. Let's make our research better, deeper, and more comprehensive, so that way we come up with better concepts for the client base, and it steers people in a better direction, right? So if you guys are using ChatGPT for shortcuts, reminder, the shortcut is still not as deep as you could be going because you have extra time. Use the shortcut to add value to what you're doing, to that activity for your own business, right? So then that allows us to create a more nuanced strategy, which takes up just as much time, but goes way deeper. So an example, I can't remember if I put a slide into this, but an example would be, all right, Tim's in Connecticut, right? And so I can go and say, cool, I want to see the top 5 competitors. Hey, ChatGPT, give me the top 5 competitors, tell me who's ranking, to use deep research to do this, da, 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 da. Now, what I can use is an AI agent to go into Facebook ad library. Hey, go search for these top 5 plumbing companies and show me the ads that have been running for more than 6 months because they likely have meat on the bone if they left them running that long, or they're just ignoring their marketing, one of the two. So it allows us to like go faster, further, farther. And if you just use it as a shortcut so you free up time and you're going to go do something else, somebody else is going to go deeper and then you're going to be left behind. It's the way I view a lot of this AI stuff, right? Everybody gets to work differently. So and this I'm super excited about, guys. This is a big one. I started out in marketing in 2004. Was anybody not alive in 2004? I'm scared now. Costin? No, you were there, just barely. Yeah. Okay. I remember. So, all right. Media buying, when I got into advertising, and some of you may have been through this, is we talked to the client, got their budget, and then we went and talked to the radio and TV stations, and we had a representative. The representative, you know what we call that now? An algorithm or a platform. So what they could do for me is I would say, hey, this is the target market we're going for. This is we've got the creative in, and we need to know which of your stations and where to place this media and how to find the target audience. What's really cool about what's happening in AI right now is these platforms know that the tools are too complex. How many of you heard of open targeting on Facebook? Okay, yeah, Jared, I know has toyed around with this. I've toyed around with it. Open targeting is we say, hey, Facebook, here's my creative, here's my geography, go. And AI is going, looking at that ad and looking at the other ads that you have and your Facebook page and your website and the landing page, we're gonna find you your audience. And you can like rein it in even more. But so I think that like marketers, this is something that I didn't like and I'm excited about, but marketers became technicians. We became guys who know how to like work under the hood of a platform because we didn't have a representative who would go and work on it for us like we did with TV. We didn't know how to run satellites in the olden days. We just talked to a person and said, man, here's what we want to do. Facebook and Meta and Google are returning to that methodology. You're finding a lot of, like in Facebook, I feel like we're already there. With Google, they've introduced Performance Max, a little iffy, but now they have AI Max. And so they're trying to get their system also in line. Why do you think they would do that? Because it opens up advertising to everybody way, way easier, right? So now you don't need a technician, which you could say hurts me, but I just got to pivot, right? So I think that media buying is going to get easier, but what happens when media buying gets easier? What does that create more pressure on? Anybody got an idea? Bam. Creative. So if everybody in your town can run ads just as easy as you and is trying to get in front of the same person, well, what do you have as a lever you can pull? Better creative. And creative is a huge bucket of worms, to be honest. And I'm going to show you some AI stuff with creative. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think that's the route you should go, but I want you to know its capabilities, and that's kind of where it can fit for you. Because this is my favorite place to play. Did you guys hear the song?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was almost like I like creative stuff, right? So basically, creative is a new brush, and it paints with ease. And you're like, oh, look at this gorgeous. I made this great action figure by typing in a prompt. But everybody can. Right? So what we're dealing with is the commoditization of creative and artistry, which means that actually running Photoshop is not the problem, but taste is the problem. And so we'll get into that. Ease creates noise, and noise creates slop. You guys know what AI slop is? How many people have been scrolling on Facebook and seen like obviously AI crap? Raise your hand. All right. We got to keep those shoulders moving. All right. So slop is, I think, just not a temporary problem, but I think slop it's like going to the TV station and having them do your TV ad and getting like the same TV ad everybody else in the market gets. Huh? So what did Jared and I do independently of each other? We created slop. Sorry, guys. We're part of the problem. So, mine is buffer. Yeah. So Or you get something like this. Now, this is Facebook. This is Meta. I placed my own ad that said, hey, plumber, fix your marketing to fix your leads, schedule a consult now. And it was me like this, right, with a background. And then Facebook was like, yo, we got you, bro. We understand this. We're going to make ads for you, and we know how this does. And sorry for you guys in the back. You might want to get your phone and zoom in. But the top 3 there, they think plumbers are really into botany. You guys like flowers? So, like, I love that one in the top center where it's like this guy with the shirt and he's like, oh, my flowers. This is the problem with my marketing. It needs more flowers. So, now here's the deal. Slop is just images with no context, or there's not a lot of meat on the bone, right? It's just kind of airy. It's popcorn. There's no real substance to it. It gets a giggle, which that's not useless. Let's face it. I just showed you Slop and you all giggled. Now you got that running around in the back of your head and you're associating it with my company. Now I get positive vibes. Thanks. So, but in my eyes, what can overcome Slop? Because let's face it, AI is a little janky. Is storytelling. Stories are huge, and there's a billion ways to tell them. And marketing kind of got away from it. It became like, call today. Here's my list of features. No one cares. So when we put Prospector Plumbing into the market, we didn't go like expert plumbers in Fairbanks, Alaska. No. We took a regional term and we said, the happiest plumbers in the interior. Like, there's a totally different tone to the way that the audience receives those 2 headlines. So, but I think stories are the humanity at its core, and anytime you are human, you are worth remembering. What is the greatest sin in marketing? Boredom. So you can use AI to stretch reality into its own lore, essentially. There's a lot of ways you can do this, and I like to push against the boundaries of things. So I need to warn you, there's a deep Tylerism coming in, and you might want to brace yourself. And here we go.
Honey, it's past your bedtime.
Mom, I'm worried. I can't sleep. What if my plumbing business fails? What if I screwed up all the marketing and nobody calls me?
Oh, remember that's why you have your bedtime stories.
You mean about the marketing mammoth?
The legend of the marketing mammoth isn't just to help you fall asleep. It's to help you get big and strong, so you can take on the world as a plumbing business owner.
Did they even figure out who wrote those stories?
Well, legend has it. There was a marketing wizard who was cast backwards in time. And there, he had a lot of time to think and attuned his marketing knowledge with magic that is long lost to this world. Sadly, his quest was lost to time, so he imbued 2 stone tablets with marketing magic. Years later, those tablets were discovered by a wandering mammoth. The tablets changed the creature and gave the legendary Mark the Mammoth insights and the interdimensional power of marketing to help plumbers far in the future. It's probably a very 100% totally true tale, and you should believe it, just like you do Santa and gravity.
Okay. I'll read a chapter every night and become the plumber I was always meant to be.
Well then, now, you go to sleep, because it's Mama's vodka time.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, son. I'm very proud of you.
Sleep tight. Enjoy your vodka.
The secrets of the mammoth plumber, bedtime tales for a plumber's slumber, full of fake stories that still ring true, solving the problems that trouble you.
So that, am I on? Okay, cool. That video was 10 hours of time and 20 years of training. Also, what? So I'm definitely not boring. Did you guys find that entertaining? Yeah. All right. Clapping kind of told me so. But the big question is why? Noise. Noise is a problem, and it's a problem for me. This is how I'm breaking out of noise for me. You guys need to break out of noise for you. AI gives you some leverage in that if you utilize it in a way other people don't. You cannot do what other people did and expect the same results when everybody's doing it. Only the early adopters get that gold rush. This is the problem I ran into. You guys ever looked for marketing books for home services companies? There's like 1,000 of them. And just for plumbers, there's 148 of them. So no one had written bedtime stories for plumbers featuring an interdimensional marketing mammoth. Right? And no one will. Except for me. But that's not all that AI can do. But that, if you take each one of those segments of that story and you just split it out, what do you get? You get slop. When you start weaving a tale, building in an ecosystem of storytelling around your business, you can do stuff. You all have that book because it's part of the swag bags. And then I put the 10 Commandments of Marketing from it right in there. I tried to create something different. I could have written a book that was all about tactics. Those already exist on the market. You can go find those and read them there, or you can just watch my podcast. But I wanted to give you something different, also something digestible, where you can be like, I'm going to spend 10 minutes reading about this marketing mammoth, and then go from there. So now I'm going to go to sleep. That's what you sound like. Yeah, that's how you all sound to me. No. So, but here's the crazy thing. That is not all AI can do, and it's time for you to get ready for some very real changes and relearn what real can be. So we're going to do a pop quiz. You guys are going to watch 2 videos, and you're going to tell me, well, I'm going to have you guess, where's the AI? Are you ready?
He was professional and polite. He fixed everything and made it as good as new. He even put up with my big dogs running around. So I highly recommend him. As a single woman, it's a blessing to have a competent repairman that just doesn't belittle me. I'd always recommend Prospector Plumbing and Heating.
By the way, okay. By the way, if you are not lifting your reviews and casting them to the world, the only people who know you're a 5-star plumber are the people who needed a plumber that month. Your market is this big. The people looking for a plumber are this big. Tell your market who you are and why they should hire you.
I mean, if I could give them more than 5 stars, I absolutely would. The service was excellent from start to finish. Professional, reliable, and reasonably priced. Justin was personable and very respectful to my house. I would highly recommend Vanguard's on my feet.
Hey, thanks, Amanda. It's reviews like this that make us really proud of the work that we do, so we really appreciate it.
From trips to trains, we keep it humming. Your neighbor's choice, Vanguard Plumbing.
All right, that's Tim. So, okay, you guys think you know where the AI is. I'm not going to play him again because I don't want you to pixel peep. Because that's not what you get to do when you're on Facebook either, or when you're getting something. So let me tell you what was AI. You ready? Ready? Okay, you in the back, you might need binoculars. All of these today were AI. Did I fool anyone? Yeah. So, and I'll tell you sort of the thing here. Did you? Yeah. So I figured some people would be able to guess it, but a lot of you didn't either. And then you have to think, well, they're still giving a message. Doesn't really matter. And in the environment of media, would you guess it? Right? And this is today. Where this was 3 months ago was way worse. So you give it like a new video tool, Sora 2 came out a couple days ago, and they're rolling it out. I was hoping to try it for this. Didn't get an invite in time. So, all right. So that woman in the Prospector ad, she's completely AI. It's using a tool called ArcAds. It's basically for UCG, user-generated content ads. So what I did is I pulled a review from Prospector, and I had her say it because we have a really hard time getting clients to give us video testimonials of their customers. So the blue guy, the red shirt guy, the woman in the blue hoodie, and the plum cool guy were all images created with Google VO, or Google's Gemini with Nano Banana And then I used Runway Act 2 to act it out myself. And then I had to pull it into 11 Labs to change the voices. And then I had to post-process them by playing them on my laptop. I did this at the Dude Wash offices earlier this week, where I'm playing them in different environments to get room tone, to make it sound more natural. So it's not like it's easy, but it's doable, right? And you gotta remember, I have a video production background, so I was able to go like, well, what are the nuances that I can fool people? So, and then Tim, so actually the lady in the pink, she is also AI, right? And similar thing, but lower resolution image. And so it creates a little bit of more like integrity to the concept of, oh, okay, this was handily recorded on a bad phone. Tim was also piloted by me, and I'd say he's probably the jankiest looking out of all these guys. Like, not because Tim's janky looking, but because it just kind of my beard screws these things up sometimes. And if you look at his lips, he's like, so, but I have, because Tim's a client, I have photos of Tim. So I screenshotted a photo, popped it into the system, and did the same thing. So now we have ads, right? But so that's what AI can be today. Now, what I think you need to do is realize that AI is going to overcome all of its jankiness very, very quickly. You give it another year, and I think you'll have a very, very hard time. So I think what you need to do as a company is, and we're already doing this, and we're testing the tools because we need to be masters of them in our world, but you use it to supplement what's hard to create. User testimonials, customer testimonials are a big one, because none of your customers want to get on camera. But if you said, hey, do you mind if I took your Google review and I had another actor speak it, or AI actor speak it? Like we don't even have to mention names. And then we have a video that can play as an advertisement that reaches, I don't know, everybody in market for once a day for 30 days to tens of thousands of your market. That's the play, right? So now you're telling everybody we're a 5-star plumber, and you're doing it with truth. Before we had AI, and I was doing local television ads, the early 2000s, we would write fake testimonials and have people act them, and nobody thought it was weird. So like we had spine care clinics, and we'd be like, my back hurts, but I called those spine care people, and everybody was like, cool, that's an ad. Yeah, now I know I can call them, right? Being there imperfectly is always better than not being anywhere. So some things you can do: review responses. This is like low-hanging fruit. Writing in general, that is also low-hanging fruit. Staff photos. How many of you have been like, well, we got to wait for the photographer to get here to get a professional headshot? Take a photo with your phone, upload it into an image processor, and say, please make this guy look professional. And then you have better staff photos. The other thing that we've done is we have taken AI-generated people in polo shirts and then changed the color of the polo shirt, put the client logo on it, because we can't get photos from clients. And I would love to have photos. Video testimonials. I already showed you an example of that. So I want to be really clear with you guys. Never let the AI replace your ultimate leverage. These are things to help you leverage yourself into the market in ways to make some things easier, but you got to do you. How many of you shot a video this week for your company? All of you? Awesome. You know why? Everybody else is noise. But you're you. And that's the problem. So I really want you guys to look at AI as something to fill in the gaps in between what you should already be doing. Whoop, wrong way. Nothing builds trust like a human. So in the grand scheme of things, AI is cool, but I want you on camera. I want you to smile. I want you to meet your audience. Because AI can't do what we're about to do. Here, can you hold this? I'm going to record myself an ad, and you all are going to help. I'm Tyler Williams from Mammoth Marketing, and I just finished a presentation to a bunch of amazing plumbers who are all going to rock their marketing this year. Hoorah!
Schedule your free marketing consult at mammoth4plumbers.com. Mammoth Marketing. Mammoth Marketing. Mammoth Marketing. Schedule your free marketing consult at mammoth4plumbers.com. Holy cow, it's really quite astonishing. They offer free consults for your marketing, but only for plumbers just like you. Because your business needs a breakthrough. Schedule your free marketing consult at mammoth4plumbers.com. Mammoth Marketing. Whoa. Mammoth Marketing.